Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get ready to start the award ceremony.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Welcome to Harlem in the Hamptons. My name is Frank Perry, and I have been enjoying this event for a very long time. When my Aunt Gladys Barnes Merrill used to be in charge of this, and would give this wonderful, wonderful party every summer. Well, they decided a while ago that they were just wanting to relax a little more, and they said to the gentleman standing next to me what he and I think about continuing in this tradition. So being the little nerds that we are, we said yes, not knowing how difficult it was. Gathering a group of black people sometimes is like herding cats. But it's a labor of love. We're so excited that everybody continues to come. Everybody continues to support our relationship with Harlem. Now, the brains, the brawn, and the bucks behind this event is totally focused on Mr. Glenn. He is so meticulous when it comes to details, but then I remember he's a math professor. He's got to be able to do that. He does it, though, with so much flair, with so much compassion, and with so much love for this community and everyone who's in this room. Now, this is the point of the program where I would say to all the beautiful women how beautifully dressed you are, and we're so happy that you're able to join us. However, it seems to me this year the fellas have really taken it off. The gentlemen this year with your varied jackets and pants and shoes and colors really begin to outshine some of our haute couturiers companions. So we congratulate everyone for dressing up and coming out and enjoying yourselves. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you Mr. Dr. Glenn.
Thank you, Frank. Those of you that know me, if you would just indulge me with a few moments of silence for those of us that couldn't make it, and then we'll get started. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's great seeing everybody. We just finished doing a Riverton reunion in July 23rd, 75th anniversary. And my brother Ken Sargent and I started this some time ago, and it's the same as it is now. When you look around this room, there's a whole lot of talent here. A hell of a lot of talent. And I'm really blessed to know you guys. But what we'd like to do is recognize the folks who are the honorees, and I'd like to introduce a young lady who I just met recently, and she offered to become the MC, and she's going to say a few words about the different honorees, and then we will present the awards. Okay? Melissa Henry.
Hello, everyone. Hello. So this is my first time ever emceeing, and I was having such casual So I thought, either I'm going to do very good, or I'm going to do very bad. Either way, I'm doing it. Right? Renee Simons. Renee Simons was born and raised initially in Harlem. Married her husband Eglon in Harlem and at the Metropolitan Community United Methodist Church. She coined the acronym SAMS, Sag Harbor Hills, Azurest, and Nineveh subdivisions, and is the president of SAMS Sag Harbor Organization, a non-for-profit organization founded to obtain local, state, and national landmark standing. In 2019, SAMS received national state recognition as the historical district founded and developed by the African American in the post-World War II and Jim Crow eras.
First of all, thank you For those who are in the ceremony, I know. I'm going this side. Can I go this one?
Right here in the middle. Stop.
So we did this thing. I did this thing called a proclamation, proclamation of perseverance and gratitude, because there were a lot of people involved in making this happen. And I wanted to acknowledge those who certainly came at the beginning. So it says, like, whereas in anything important that employs the thought, no one of us is smarter than all of us together, and the common belief that sometimes it takes a village to soar and achieve a priceless vision. I had that, and had that experience to share. Our group was formed to recognize Sand's legacy, families, perseverance, and pioneering dream of a privately owned respite, really, providing a sense of peace, community, accomplishment, and friendship during a very difficult time. We talk about the Jim Crow post-World War II time in American history. I would be woefully remiss if I failed to thank those who really made it happen, starting with SHPO, who's the state organization who helped to navigate and in unexpected ways helped us hurdle some of the things that were most difficult to pull this off. It was not easy. Most people gave us poor chances of succeeding because we did it on our own and navigated from there. We kicked off our effort with getting residents signing individual petitions, ushered through by Sand's early supporters, and I want to recognize some of them. Andrea Cotman, Susan Johnson, who's over here, Susan Enriquez-Payne, who could not join us today, but sends her deep regards, Camille Clark, Debbie Jackson, and Bill Pickens. We started because they actually knocked on doors, spoke with individuals, gave them backgrounds, and got signatures to continue. SANS is our organizational resolve, tested by the need to self-fund because the village refused, landmarking efforts, hatched a very big outreach plan that actually was started at a homeless function where we knew there were 1,000 people there, and I said to Debbie, she's a witness, I said, we need money. I'm not good at it, by the way, Debbie's much better at it than I am. I said, but let's start asking people to contribute, and we did it at that event, and we got contributions, and I thank those who came in early on that. Then, specific organizations and individuals played a contributing role, both crucial and practical, and warrant recognition. To facilitate this process and provide preservation grant support, we didn't raise enough money, frankly. We needed more money. And so we applied for 2 grants, the Sag Harbor Partnership with Susan Mead and April Gornick, really keeping a keen eye on this goal, provided the stalwart perseverance and presence that we needed to pull this off through their sponsorship. And by the way, April sends her regards. She said, keep going, and, kind of do what you do. She really wanted to thank us for all that we've done, and I wanted to thank the organization, Harlem Cultural Archives, and saying thank you for doing this.
Eglon Simons was born in Bermuda and immigrated to the USA. He graduated from Brooklyn Tech High School and the City College of New York in Harlem. He has served on the executive board of Sag Harbor Hills Improvement Association and was president for 6 years. Eglon has worked side by side with Renee to ensure that our part of Sag Harbor is treated with dignity and respect.
I had to apologize to Eglon that he might be the only male accepting an award today, but he was cool with that. Anyway, we have a common history. We both went to City College. He actually founded a black organization that I knew about and was very well respected called the Honorees Group. And like I said, we have a lot in common, especially when it comes to City College. Thank you for everything you do, Eglon.
Well, Glenn, thank you very much. Much appreciated. I've got some notes here.
For 52 years I've been following this lady, so I know I can't win, all right? But congratulations, Renee. She said, I'm not supposed to talk about SANS, but you can't not talk about SANS. The whole idea and the whole concept. There are, unlike Mr. Trump, okay, in our basement, there are boxes and boxes and boxes of data that was collected by the SANS group. Factual information going back all the way to the beginning, state, federal investigation that the group of people put together. This is all very, very real. Some friends of ours going back many years stopped by and stayed with us. And they heard about the event, and I had the privilege of showing them something this afternoon. I went to my computer and I brought out the home series on Apple TV. If you don't have Apple TV, you need to get it. Apple TV, the home series, season number 2, episode 5. The title is Sag Harbor. All over this world, they are talking about this little community called SANS, and it's depicted very beautifully with E.T. Williams, Beverly Granger, who said she was there when she was 18 months old, Mike and Susan Payne talking about the history, what it's all about. This is very, very real. It's a privilege in that last week, I'm sorry we could not be there, Azarest celebrated 75 years. The point is, SANS exists. It's in the federal, and it's in the state. Not all three, it's never going to go away. And I thank all of Renee and everything that they've done there. Now, my main purpose is to pass along heritage, to pass along experience, to pass along what we all learn. 75 years must not be lost because we didn't pass it on to my daughter, your daughter, sons and daughters. Because if we don't pass it along, it is lost. You've got it in place right now, and I believe that it's our responsibility. I'm 76, okay? I'm relatively young. But I've got to make sure the 50-year-olds and the 25-year-olds understand and follow what we've set up. Because if they don't follow what we set up, then it's lost. So we've done our part. It's in the federal, it's in the state. We've got to make sure the history and the heart goes along too. I was president of the Sag Harbor Hills Sag Harbor Hills Improvement Association, and 2 years ago, I said to some of the members who were on, I'd like you to step off the board because we want to bring young people onto the board now so they can sit side by side and get the experience. So B.B. Granger, who came here 18 months, when she was 18 months old, her daughter now sits on the board. Olivia's daughter sits on the board. That's an important thing for them to sit side by us in terms of what has to be done. If we don't do it, it gets lost. There were 100 communities like SANS. There are about 5 left. We do not want Sag Harbor to get lost in the flood. The other thing I want to mention is that with them sitting beside us, men, women, they can hear and feel those things which they may have forgotten. We just cannot let them be forgotten at all. Got all my notes here just about. Anyway, it's important for all of us to make sure that the legacies that are recorded continue to go on. If we don't do our job, those with the loudest mouths will get away with it, okay? I look at my friend Buddy Johnson over there. He was my frat brother. Vernon Campbell is here. Vernon was my best man, and Joette, and he's the godfather to, and Joette, the godfather to our Kimberly, who was 47 years old. That's the most important thing we can do. So I urge Harlem In The Hamptons to continue to do what you're doing. Because if we lose any of this, it's not going to be worth the effort we do. I am honored and privileged to be the recipient of your award. Thank you.
The next recipient is Harriet Coleman. Hey, Harriet. Harriet Coleman, originally from Baltimore, Maryland, planted roots in Harlem shortly after moving to New York City. As a more than 30-year resident of Harlem, Harriet launched Dream Leapers in the village of Harlem and has coached hundreds of Harlem residents over the years. Dream Leapers was designed to help people access and activate their dreams through public speaking, public speaking training, life coaching, etiquette training, content development, and confidence building. She has become a mainstay in Sag Harbor over the years, including having hosted an event at the Eastville Community Historical Society. And I learned a couple of things about Harriet today. She's an author of 7 books, and she used to work at Essence and Ebony. So I'm excited to meet her, and congratulations, Harriet.
Thank you. If I stand this way, might I not have to be at anybody's back? How's that? I'm trying. Hi, everybody. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you so much for including me in this award. It is an incredible honor to be acknowledged for the 2 communities that I love so much. Harlem, where, as you said, I've lived for more than 30 years, and Sag Harbor, that I call my happy place. And my husband and I, and now our daughter, have been coming to this community. Well, I've been coming since I was in college. Way before I met my husband. I went to Howard University, and my girlfriends knew Sag Harbor, and we came. I've been coming ever since, thanks to John and Victoria Pitt Reviews. We have made this our home. We don't own a home, but we feel part of the community, and we've been coming for many, many years to share in the fellowship, the friendship, the comfort, the magic of this incredible community. There's so many people here who I remember one time, Barbara North, years ago, we saw you and your crew at a black tie event. And I said, wow, I don't recognize you in person because I've only seen you in bathing suits. But imagine to be in a place like this, where you can be so relaxed and so blessed to be kissed by the sun on our magical beach, and to feel that we are part of an incredible community where our children can come and fellowship with one another, and where you just feel that your heart is connected to each other. It is true, as you shared, I say I've had 39 lives. I worked at Essence for 11 years. I ran Ebony, helped to create a bunch of other magazines. But what I say about my work is that my mission is to help people to be their best, to uplift people so that they can shine, to be confident, and to be in alignment with their purpose. So that is what I do in whatever way I can. And I've had the blessing of working with many, many people, some of whom you may know, like Mary J. Blige and Alicia Keys and Andrew Day, and many students. I teach at Hunter College now, public speaking classes to help people to stand in their confidence, and many, many others. The point of my work is to celebrate us, to help people understand how to celebrate themselves, and to be able to do that from the coast to coast of Harlem to the Hamptons really does warm my heart. I'm looking at you, Buttons. We've sat on the beach a million times together. Many of us sharing our dreams. Many of us sharing our vision for what is possible, and feeling comfortable and confident to be able to do it with each other in this space. Never bragging about what we do or who we know. Most of us might not even know what we do, because you don't come here to show what you do, you come here to be who you are. I'm grateful to Pam and her daddy. We stayed in her daddy's house for the past few years, and we're able to be with him in fellowship and family with him at that tender moment of transition. And that's a blessing to be able to share that, and my daughter to share it too. Tomorrow we take her to college. She's about to soar on the next leg of her journey, and she's been able to spend many of her formative years being baked in the community of Sag Harbor. So we thank you for including us in the family. Thank you for acknowledging me and my family. Thank you, everyone.
I am almost beyond words. Not only most of you know me through my younger years, and some of those stories I try to forget, but for the most part, most of you have known me through Sag Harbor, and we live in Harlem. So Harlem to the Hamptons is a very, very unique point that brings all of us together as a family. And right now, what's happening in our lives is that this is our rock. This has been some place for a lot of us to be, to go, to experience life that Black people sometimes have not ever been given the opportunity to do so, or have not been recognized to be able to do so. There was an article last week, and I don't want to take up too much time, so I don't want to say thank you. But the article was about Black doctors who got charged by the federal government, and they really only got charged because they were Black. They were the best doctors in their area. They went through a 3-year case in which they were found that the federal government had falsified information about them, had done investigations against them. And the thing is everybody in this room has had challenges, has lived through the struggle, and has been able to survive. So I want to thank all of you for giving an opportunity to put my mother and father's name on an award. I want to thank all of you for striving and struggling every day. Not some days, not every weekend, but every day. And this has been a struggle for everybody to be here, stay here, and sustain this for our community, our friends, our neighbors, our family. Thank you very much.
Please take a look at what Jackie's mother and her colleagues did to keep our history alive. What attracted me to Eastville and to the Sands community is the fact that we're trying to preserve our history and make sure, you know, it's like you say, don't get angry, just set the record straight. You just want to make sure you set the record straight. I watched Eglon and Renee, even in the winter, I stopped by, they were feverishly looking up ways to make sure that we got everything we deserve. So, thank you very much, and I'm going to hope the DJ is going to carry us out. There's only one typo on the program. We got to be out here by 10. Sorry, not 11. Okay.